Hello friends, welcome to the series. Here we are targeting essay paper 2018 mains examination, and here I am there with a topic which was asked in 2016 mains examination, and it is like cooperative federalism, a myth or reality. So in introduction part, you will say that federation means a group of states with a central government. In Indian context, federation is union of states. Part 11 of the Indian Constitution specifies the distribution of legislative, administrative and executive powers between union or federal or central government and states of India. The legislative powers are categorized under a union list, state list and concurrent list, representing respectively powers of conferred upon union government, those conferred upon state government and shared powers. So in body part, in the first paragraph, you will say that the federalism is asymmetric in that devolved powers of the constituent units are not all the same. The state of Jammu Kashmir was accorded a higher degree of autonomy than other states under Article 370. Union territories are unitary type directly governed by union government, though Article 11 of the Constitution stipulates two-tier governments with additional local elected government by the local citizens throughout the country. However, Delhi and Puducherry have been accorded their own legislatures under Article 239A and 239AA respectively. In next paragraph, you will say that legislative powers are divided between center and state and mentioned in Schedule 7 of the Constitution. Schedule 7 gives three lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. Residuary issues are given to center. If both center and state have made legislation on any subject in concurrent list, then center's law will valid and state law will be void. In next paragraph, you will say that regarding executive power, center and state government have their own staff and machinery and are independent of each other. Hence, center cannot overrule state and vice versa in executive and administrative matters. In next paragraph, you will say that Constitution have given provisions for distribution of financial powers between center and state. Article 282 accords financial autonomy in spending the financial resources available with the states for public purpose. Article 293 gives liberty to state to borrow without any limit to its ability for the requirements within the territory of India without any consent from union government. However, union government can insist for compliance of its loan terms when a state has outstanding loan charged to Consolidated Fund of India or an outstanding loan in respect of which guarantee has been given by the Government of India under the liability of Consolidated Fund of India. President constitutes a finance commission after every 5 years to recommend the modality for devolving union government revenues between center and state government. Under Article 360 Constitution, President can proclaim financial emergency when financial stability or credit of the nation or any part of its territory is threatened. In next paragraph, you will say that states can make agreements between themselves without violating applicable laws in respective states. When a dispute arises with another state or group of states or union territory or central government, Supreme Court shall adjudicate in such a disputes as per Article 141 of the Constitution. However, Article 262 excludes Supreme Court jurisdiction with respect to adjudication of any dispute in use, distribution or control of interstate river water as per Article 262. In the next paragraph, you will say that states in India have no power to secede. Unlike in United States, in India we have singular citizenship and states does not have their own separate citizenship. Hence, looking at all aspects of center-state relationship, it appears that center have overriding power in Indian federalism and its unitary federation. In next paragraph, you will say that in times of emergency, center gains even further in all legislative, executive and financial aspects of state authority. Even imposition of emergency is solely in the hands of President based on Governor's report. Hence, these features have made Indian Federation as unitary federation. However, Constitution provides for checks and balances in this unitary form of federation. Center cannot change this constitutional structure on its own, and there needs constitutional amendment to change this structure. Further, constitutional amendments altering state list subjects into concurrent or union list needs approval from majority of state legislatures. Though there is evident unitary federalism in India, there are certain provisions in Constitution for cooperative federalism. Article 263 of Constitution provides for interstate council for investigation, discussion, recommendation for better coordination of relations between center and states. Zonal council set up under State Reorganization Act 1956 provides another constitutional mechanism for center-state and interstate relations, strengthening and dispute resolution through cooperation. National Development Council and National Integration Council too provide for smooth implementation of policies of center and state for common good and is again example of cooperative federalism. There are several examples of cooperative federalism in India, latest being implementation of GST. In GST regime, both center and states have given up certain powers for better implementation of GST in national interest. Regarding terrorism and education too, these entries have moved to concurrent list of Schedule 7 of Constitution so that both center and state can legislate on the subject, which again is in national interest. Implementation of Sagarmala and Bharatmala project, which needs active participation from center and state, is again example of cooperative federalism. However, there are certain instances when cooperative federalism takes backseat and there arises some disputes between center and states. Here, interests of center and state take priority over national interest and cooperative federalism is not seen. For example, some states initially were not agreeing to part away their right of taxation on sale of goods. It's only over a period of time and through persistent efforts from various sectors that states agreed and GST became reality, as implementation of GST involved constitutional amendment and approval from majority of state legislatures. In next paragraph, you will say that similarly there is painful issue of ground on which President rule emergency under Article 356 to be imposed on state. Article 356 have given scope for interpretation and sometimes center have used this scope to its own advantage. President's rule is imposed by center based on report from governor, but again governor is appointed by president or center, which is seen by some as conflict of interest. Many a time, political reason formed basis for imposition of emergency in state under Article 356 of Constitution. In next paragraph, you will say that cooperative federalism is also seen in various other countries in the world. In United States, Australia, Canada, etc., center and state work hand in hand, though up to certain extent, states have distinct presence in constitutional, legislative, financial and judicial space. So, coming to the conclusion part, here in the conclusion you will say that national interests have to take first and foremost priority for central or state government. Both center and state have to identify their responsibilities and avoid deadlock, which will be achieved in cooperative federalism. For example, GST implementation, handling terrorism, health and education policies, etc. As Indian Federation is unitary in nature, there is greater responsibility on central government not to misuse provisions of constitution for political interest, which is against the spirit of cooperative federalism. Though there are few contrary examples, at majority of times cooperative federalism has succeeded in India and it has proven to be reality. So here completes this topic of cooperative federalism myth or reality, which I asked in 2016 mains examination. Friends, you have to remember that for representation point of view, I have made each bullet, and in actual essay you will not write this bullet format. You will write just paragraph. Each bullet will convert into one paragraph, and you will write in actual essay paper in the paragraph form and not in the bullet form. Similarly, you will not use words introduction, body or conclusion, though you will write introduction is at introduction part, body at body part and conclusion part. So friends, this is all about this essay. I will be there with you in another video with another topic. Thank you.